Have you ever wondered why your grandmother warns you never to go out at night alone? Why some paths are never cleared and some trees never cut down? They say spirits don't just haunt, they remember. And when you break ancient rules, they don't just watch, they act. In the heart of Iduoma, stories flowed like water, carried from tongue to ear with the grace of ancestors' breath. And among the oldest was the tale of the whispering trees, a cursed patch of forest where spirits gathered to mourn the disobedient. Every child in Iduoma was warned. Once the moon is high, do not tread the back path or relieve yourself in the open. Not even a drop. Ojugo, ever the rebel, laughed at such warnings. How can spirits care where someone pees? She'd scoff, rolling her eyes as the village elders shook their heads. Her brother, Dyke, often scolded her. Respect the old ways, Aji. They're not just stories. But Ojugo had made a habit of wandering out at night when the urge called. The thick darkness didn't frighten her. She'd grown used to the shadows and their dancing tricks. What she hadn't gotten used to, however, was the strange voice she once heard, barely a whisper, while easing herself by the mango tree. It had said, "You have been seen." She told no one, not even Uchenna, who was the only one bold or foolish enough to accompany her on her night walks. He made jokes of it all, mocking the legends with chicken clucks and exaggerated shivers. But something had shifted that week. The air grew dense after sundown. Animals that once roamed freely at night now hid. Even the crickets, bold singers of the dark, had grown silent. And then the dreams began. Ojugo would awaken sweating, hearing murmurs outside her window, murmurs that mimicked her voice, murmurs that knew her name. What if the next time you stepped outside at night, someone was already waiting? Not someone you could see, but someone who never left the place you stood. Someone who remembers every footstep, every drop. Ojugo didn't sleep the night after the last dream. She sat upright till the rooster crowed, heart pounding, ears tuned to every creak in the wooden walls of their hut. Dyke noticed her sunken eyes over breakfast. "You okay?" he asked, lowering his voice. She nodded stiffly. "Didn't sleep much." Mama Ifeoma came into the compound just as the sun reached the treetops. That alone was strange. She rarely left her hut unless summoned. "Someone has awakened her," she whispered, staring into Ojugo's eyes. The woman in white does not forget. Ojugo's spoon clattered to the floor. Uchenna laughed. "She means a ghost?" This again. Mama Ifeoma's voice sharpened. "Mock the night, and the night will mock your soul." That evening, Ojugo begged Uchenna not to join her. But he followed anyway, joking about how spirits probably needed privacy more than people. She stepped behind the mango tree again, eyes darting toward the forest's edge. The moment silence fell around them, total, unnatural silence, Uchenna paused. "Do you hear that?" he whispered. "No," she breathed. "I hear nothing." Suddenly a soft rustle, and then she appeared, a figure in white, long, tattered robes that dragged along the earth. Her hair flowed like shadows, her face pale and cold, and her eyes were filled with sorrow and rage. Ojugo froze. The woman in white lifted one hand, pointing slowly, accusingly toward her. "You let it fall where the moon weeps," she whispered. "Now you will carry its echo." Then the ground beneath Ojugo's feet pulsed, like a heartbeat, like something ancient had awakened. She screamed, but the night swallowed it whole. Have you ever felt the earth breathing? Not with wind, not with life, but with something watching you from beneath? Ojugo didn't speak for 2 days. Her mother thought she had caught a fever. Dyke, however, knew better. He had seen his sisters stare, blank, locked, haunted by something she couldn't name. Uchenna, on the other hand, had vanished. He hadn't returned to his hut. His mother cried for him, scouring every inch of Iduoma's boundaries with the village men. They found nothing. No blood, no trail, only his slippers, damp and twisted, lay near the mango tree. Mama Ifioma came again. She didn't knock. She didn't wait. "The roots are angry," she said, pulling leaves from her pouch and placing them under Ojugo's tongue. He was warned. You all were warned. Dyke clenched his fists. What roots? What spirit would take a boy for relieving himself? Mama Ifioma turned slowly. It's not the act alone, it's the disrespect. The earth remembers the first blood spilled there, the curses that followed. When you ease yourself on sacred ground, you feed the rage of the buried. That night, Ojugo stirred in bed, restless. She heard it again, the whisper, but this time it came from under the floorboards. Bring him back, or join him. She ran to Dyke's room, gasping. We have to go to the roots, she said. We have to find him. Dyke hesitated. He wasn't one to chase shadows, but he saw something in her eyes, an honesty that fear had carved. With machete and lamp, they journeyed out, past the mango tree, into the thicket that villagers never dared enter. The roots of an ancient tree, blackened and cracked like dead fingers, stretched around a hollow pit, and from it came the stench of rot and laughter. A figure crawled from the shadows, but it wasn't Uchenna. It was a mimic of him, skin peeling, eyes glowing, voice broken. He laughed at her, it said, crawling forward. Now she wears his skin. Dyke slashed at the mimic. It screeched and burst into dust, but the tree moaned. And from its core, the woman in white emerged again. Eyes like storm clouds, mouth whispering Ojugo's name. You were warned, she said. Then the tree's roots lashed out. One wrapped around Ojugo's ankle, another around Dyke's waist. The forest had awakened, and it was hungry. What happens when the dead remember more than the living? What if their memories aren't whispers, but screams? Ojugo gasped for air as the root coiled tighter. Dyke struggled beside her, slashing wildly with his machete. Each strike freed more smoke than sap, smoke that hissed and moaned like dying voices. Then a sharp cry echoed through the forest. Enough! It was Mama Ifioma, cloaked in white, bearing a staff carved with bones and charms. She stepped into the grove. The roots froze mid-motion, trembling. You cannot take them, she shouted, not without balance. The woman in white turned slowly, her face cracked like old porcelain. Balance was broken long ago. Mama Ifioma's staff struck the earth and the ground shivered. Then remember, spirit who first defiled you. It was not this child. Suddenly the air shimmered. Visions spilled into the night. Ghostly flashes of a time long gone. A young woman dragged into the sacred grove by village men. A scream stifled beneath moonlight. A grave dug beneath the mango tree. The first sin, the forgotten sacrifice. Ojugo cried. Dyke stood frozen. She was innocent, Mama Ifioma whispered. Punish the guilty, not the unaware. The woman in white looked at Ojugo. She walks where blood remembers, she said. She mocks the sacred. Ojugo stepped forward, heart pounding. I didn't know. I swear it. You knew the warning, the spirit hissed. I mocked it, Ojugo admitted. I laughed, but I never meant disrespect. Please. The spirit paused, then offer something the land can accept. Mama Ifioma nodded. A sacrifice of remembrance. Not blood, but honor. She drew a blade. Ojugo flinched, but Mama Ifioma sliced her own palm. The blood sizzled as it touched the roots. I remember you, she said to the spirit. I remember what they did. A wind howled through the trees. The roots loosened. The spirit faded, eyes softer now, filled with sorrow. As she vanished, a whisper lingered. Tell them to remember. The grove fell silent, and in the hollow Uchenna's body, unharmed, lay curled in a deep sleep. The roots loosened. The spirit faded like morning mist kissed by sunlight. The forest sighed, and the silence returned, not empty but peaceful. Ojugo collapsed into Dyke's arms, trembling. The warmth of her brother's heartbeat was the only thing keeping her grounded. Uchenna's body was never found. Only his laughter remained, sometimes echoing on quiet nights when the moon rose high and the trees leaned in. After that night, Ojugo changed. She no longer mocked the stories. She listened when elders spoke, sat quietly when rituals were performed, and when children laughed at the warnings, she said only, "Be careful where you stand." Some soil remembers more than it forgives. The villagers cleared the old grove, not to destroy it, but to fence it, mark it as sacred. And in the center, beneath the mango tree, they planted a shrine, one for the woman in white. It was Ojugo who laid the first offering, white cloth and 7 pebbles, a symbol of cleansing, of remorse. Mama Ifioma, now fading with age, smiled faintly and said, "The land forgives when it is remembered." Moral of the story: some places are sacred not because of what we see, but because of what has been forgotten. The past does not stay buried when disrespected. Honor the old paths. Heed the warnings. For even the soil has memory, and spirits never sleep. Now, let's hear your opinions, dear viewers. Would you dare to wander the sacred paths of the whispering trees after hearing the warnings? What would you do if you heard the eerie whispers at night? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Ojugo's bravery versus Uchenna's mockery. Who do you think was right to challenge the spirits? Was it worth it to break the ancient rules? Drop a comment and share your opinion. Have you ever heard a strange sound or felt something mysterious in the dark? Share your eerie experiences with us. Do you believe in the spirits of the land? Let's hear your ghostly tales below. What do you think will happen next in the cursed forest? Will Ojugo survive the wrath of the spirits, or will the woman in white claim her? Hit the comments and make your prediction now. Do you believe that ancient spirits can still haunt the land today? Yes or no? Vote below and tell us why. Ojugo's transformation was heartbreaking, but beautiful. Do you think she learned the true value of respecting the old ways? Let us know if this story moved you. Leave a comment below telling us what you would have done differently if you were in Ojugo's shoes. Best comment gets pinned. If you enjoyed this supernatural tale, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling stories from the whispering trees. And make sure to hit the bell icon so you never miss an eerie tale